We anticipate in the next 10 to 12 years approximately 86 million Hispanics coming into the United States and 41 million Asians. You have been the majority minority for 400 years in this country. You have been the number 2 population for 400 years. You're gonna get kicked out of being number 2, you're gonna go down and become number 4. Now, common sense, even a 3rd grade education would tell you, if you didn't get anything when you were number 2, you all jumped ahead of me, but anyway, you can guess what you're gonna get when you become number 4.
President Biden, do you support reparations?
Well, I mean, since I haven't spoken on this, got a chance. Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration. We've been able to cherry pick the best from every single continent. The people who come here have determination, resilience. They are ready to stand up and work like the devil. We have 24 out of every 100 children in our school today is Hispanic. The idea that we are going to walk away and not provide every opportunity for them is not only stupid and immoral, but it's bad for America. They are the future of America.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. And this is what we are faced with. And this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
We are owed $104 trillion on the very low end, plus $735 billion recurring. This number does not include the cost of about 50 Black Wall Streets that were decimated, nor compound interest from 2017 when Sean D. Rochester's book, The Black Tax, was published, nor the cost of Black life, nor the cost of living increases, nor the war on drugs, nor the current day pandemic. The number I'm working with is for slavery, Jim Crow, and accrued ongoing systemic racism, oppression, and disadvantage in the country our ancestors built with their lives.
Good afternoon on the West Coast. Good afternoon in the mountain. Good afternoon in the central. Good afternoon on the East Coast. You know exactly who it is, Emily. Angela Nirvana, your hostess with the mostest on the Reparations perspective, bringing you those Freedmen hot topics and making the case for reparations, making the case for weaponizing our vote, socializing our suffering. Family, I had to come to you sooner than anticipated. I'm trying to get a handle on what time St. Paul is going to have their council meeting because that agenda is stacked with a bunch of items, family. I don't feel like sitting through all them items. I'm just trying to hone in on the items surrounding reparations and establishing that task force. So the 1:30 may not be exact. It may be more like 2 o'clock. But anywho, one of my comrades, shout out to Kia, Phoenix Star. Hi, love my folks. I see you, family. No amnesty. Close the border. Yes, family. Thank you for tuning in real quick. She just shared a harrowing video with me. And this is what I've been telling y'all for a couple of years now. Some of you, thank you. You've actually listened to me. You need to like, share, and subscribe. And this has got to go out and go viral. You guys, not many of you that rock with me, but far too many American freedmen are continuing to withhold their votes, or they are voting blue no matter damn who to our people's erasure and replacement. And I want to show you, without further ado, I'm just going to cue the tapes because this is hair-raising scary what's happening at the border. We are in a crisis because of the Joe Crow administration that American freedmen, by and large, delivered the last election cycle, and then again delivered the Senate, who holds the bag. Y'all delivered them, not me. This midterm pass, I made the bitch bleed down the ticket because I am living what the rest of the country is about to experience. Let's show the tape. Hold on, family. Y'all clutch your invisible pearls, be mortified, but this is what you guys continue to do. And I continue to tell you, if we don't bring these Democrats to their knees for several election cycles, it is a wrap. It is a wrap. We must vote for closed border American first candidates only. Party be damned to neutralize our most imminent threat and replacement immigration. Watch this. Stand by. I need to breathe. Make sure y'all can see it.
Overnight, even more migrants crossing the Rio Grande into El Paso, Texas. Thousands have come in huge groups just over the past several days, burning fires to keep warm, many from Nicaragua. Here in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, tension has been ramping up. Weeks ago, riot police broke a part of migrant camp that had formed along the border. Now, shelters are filling up. Late today, there are still hundreds of migrants that have walked across the Rio Grande and right now are waiting to get into El Paso. This new influx that we're seeing comes just days before a federal court is set to lift the pandemic-era border restriction known as Title 42. Today, we met this family of four from Guatemala who arrived here weeks ago. Now they're waiting until Title 42 is lifted before they decide whether to cross into the United States. With U.S. migrant processing centers already crowded, some migrants even sleeping outside, some officials in El Paso are urging the mayor to declare a state of emergency.
It is a crisis. It is a state of emergency. There's no municipality alone that could handle what we're seeing and what we're about to see with the lifting of Title 42.
Today, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas visited El Paso, and he's facing Republican calls for impeachment. There was a record-breaking 2.4 million illegal border crossings in the last year. Critics of the Biden administration say its lax border policies will encourage an even larger influx when Title 42 is lifted. Customs and Border Protection agents tell NBC News daily illegal border crossings could reach a record 10,000 per day. This man from Ecuador says a cartel kidnapped him during his grueling journey and that he only survived because the Mexican military rescued him and hundreds of others. Tonight, Secretary Mayorkas is defending the administration's border policies, saying immigration is very complex. And Lester, we're just now seeing how challenging it may be about to get.
So, family,
thanks for watching our YouTube.
What you are bearing witness to is freedmen showing up to vote for their own erasure and replacement in real time. Hi, BB. I see you, family. Thank you guys for always jumping on here whenever I go live on short notice. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much. Yes, please like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Hi, BB Rodriguez. Good afternoon, Reparationists. Missed you live last night. Family, it's in the archive. You have to check it out. It is fire. Thank you, love my folks. We in California have been trying to tell y'all the South doesn't have the economy to survive what we've been enduring. Absolutely the truth. And it is going to be harrowing because we already suffer the highest rates of homelessness, unemployment, and underemployment throughout the country with a median income of around $40,000 since the pandemic, if you're fortunate enough to have work. And they're dropping these people into our communities to erase and replace us. They're not vetting these people at the border. They don't have the jab. They don't have to take a jab. While these corporations are continuing to insist that we show them proof of vaccine before they'll employ us. All ways to discriminate against us. And when this bullshiggity takes over in your state, let me help you understand, you will be required to know Spanish. And even when you speak it as fluently as Pedro, you don't have the complexion for the protection, family. You're not getting those jobs. It's taking us months to years to get work out here. And we have to pray to Jesus, Black Mary, and Black Joseph just to make that manifest. It is a nightmare when this immigration overtakes you. We have gone down from 7 million to 2 million in the state of California, thanks to Governor Newsom. And these Democrats whose agenda is solely about making sure they use our reparations and protections to give these illegals, they're breaking the law. They're calling them asylum seekers. These are economic opportunists. While they sit up here and tell the nation black folks don't want to work, when our ancestors, along with us, built this country, continue to build this country. So they're straight up lying to constitute overrunning the country because they're coming for your vote. They have literally weaponized our never-ending Holocaust and our votes to erase and replace us, and we keep showing up to assist. Let me share the next video. Stand by. Y'all don't believe that meat is greasy till you see it frying. Stand by. I'll come back over to get the rest of your comments, family. Stand by. I got to share this last one. This ain't going to be a long one. Oh, my God.
Hey, everybody, thanks for coming over and be a part of this dialogue today. Obviously, there's a lot that's going on currently right now in this administration and with the conversation about Title 42. Let me be very clear on something. Title 42 was always intended to be a temporary authority to be able to deal with the pandemic issues, always. The problem has been that I've asked questions of the administration for the last 8 months in particular. What are you going to do when it actually ends? What are you going to do when it actually ends? Their response has been, well, we have a 6-point plan that we've already implemented to be able to deal with this after it ends. Their plan clearly is not working. And so my question has been, what is your plan? So far, they've not been able to do this. They've not been able to resolve what the key issues are for immigration and the increase. Let me just give you a couple of clear, blunt statements. When you incentivize illegal activity, you get more illegal activity, period. It's not hard. What they've done is they've taken the dollars that have been allocated to them for enforcement, and they've instead used those dollars for processing to speed up the processing issues that they had at the border, so that as thousands of people cross the border, those thousands of people could move into the interior country faster to make room for thousands more to be able to come in. They've also transitioned now to putting individuals on parole as soon as they cross the border. Well, that does two things. Once they transition and put into parole, they're given a work permit that same day. And so people are illegally crossing the border, getting a work permit immediately as they cross the border, and then they're put in line with ICE. So this is the second part of this that many people are not talking about. ICE, that used to be used for enforcement within the interior of the country, is now being used for processing people that are illegally coming into the country. The administration has changed their mission to not deporting people that are illegally into the country, but processing people illegally in the country farther into the country. That's a dramatic shift. What they've also done is the administration over and over again in the last 2 years, they have requested fewer beds for ICE, less money for detention, and they continue to try to defund ICE, at the same time change the mission of those that are remaining in ICE to do less. What does this look like? Well, we've got more than 2 million people have illegally crossed the border. Of that more than 2 million people that have illegally crossed the border, about 1.3 million of those individuals that have illegally crossed the border have been actually put into the interior of the country. So if you want to run the round numbers of this and what's actually happening, I tried to run some basic math on this. Of the ICE deportations versus this administration actually releasing people into the country, right now we have about 3,600 people a day that are being released into the country. 3,600 people a day. ICE is actually deporting 189 people a day. That is day after day after day. And when people talk about what is the crisis that's happening across the country, it is this administration is facilitating the rapid release of people into the country and is ignoring the ICE responsibility of actually people leaving the country. I'm going to give a Christmas gift to the administration later today. I'm bringing 2 different bills to the floor and asking unanimous consent. One of them deals with the Title 42 authority. The administration already, when a court stepped in and said, we're not ready for this, asked for weeks extension of that. And now even in the filing that was done yesterday by the administration, they said, no, we're still not ready. Can you give us more time on this? I'd like to give them a longer extension of time and to keep that same authority in place on it. That pandemic authority is being used for multiple other programs, but this administration saying we don't want to actually do border enforcement, but we do want to do other areas. We want to maintain that same authority that's there. The second thing is the administration continues to talk about the asylum rules, and they seem to be playing with this issue that's out there of if people travel to multiple different countries and then they finally get to the United States and request asylum, that's not asylum, that's economic opportunity. And I'm all in. We are the greatest nation in the world. I completely understand why people want to legally come to the United States. But right now, this administration is encouraging people to literally travel from all over the world to illegally come to the United States. So the simple process that is, if you're traveling to multiple different countries before you come here and you didn't request asylum in that process before you came here in any of the previous countries, you can't request it here as well. It's not new. That idea has been around for a very long time, and it's time we actually implement that kind of idea, that we continue to allow asylum seekers to be able to come to this country that are truly seeking asylum. But for people that are actually just coming for economic opportunity, I understand why they would want to come. Let's go through the legal pathways to be able to do that as well. One quick reminder of this. Jay Johnson, 2019, made the statement that every morning he would get up in the morning, and the first thing he would get is his intelligence briefing, and then he would look at the number of people that illegally crossed the day before. That was how he started every single day. And he knew if it was more than 1,000, it was going to be a bad day. Right now, today, we have more than 9,000 people a day illegally crossing our border. 9,000 a day. During the time of Jay Johnson, during that surge time period, we had a little over 500,000 people illegally cross our border in a year. A little over 500,000 in a year. Under this administration, we have over 500,000 in 2 months, and it's continuing to accelerate. This is a very real crisis that for whatever reason, many people are ignoring and saying it's old news. But as the rise of fentanyl comes into our country, as the crisis continues to build and the humanitarian crisis on our southern border, please understand, we understand full well the pull factor. The pull factor is this administration's policies. This was not happening under the Obama administration. It is happening under this administration. The law is the same. The difference is this administration is not enforcing the law, and they're encouraging more and more illegal immigration, and it needs to stop, and we need to address that today. We have multiple colleagues that are going to step in that have been very passionate about working through this. Senator Portman's obviously been a lead in Homeland Security on this, and asked him to be able to come forward and be able to speak into this.
Thank you, James. So here's the chart. These numbers tell the story.
I don't want a copyright strike. So I'm going to pause that one. Hold on, family. Welcome to the live. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Y'all got to make this go viral. Our people have got to snap out of it and stop voting for their erasure and replacement. This is what our people, 86% of our electorate, did this in 2020 when they put Joe Crow in office while sitting up here having their panties in a bunch over Trump's mean tweets. And the fact that he's an overt racist versus the covert racist Joe Crow has always been. You know, the author of the 94 crime bill. Let me show you what he means when he says it's happening under this administration. Stand by. Where's the sound? Hold on, guys. I can't hear that one.
Over the past 6 months, we have been investigating as well as exposing the truth behind all of these food processing plants that have been catching.
Responded that it was vital for Congress to pass a bill supported by President Biden to create a pathway to citizenship. Before stating that the border is secure. She also blamed the broken immigration system on the Trump administration. Todd then asked the VP about the 2 million people who will cross the border this year, pressing Harris on whether or not she was confident that the border was secure. Harris responded by doubling down on her initial claim, stating that the U.S. does have a secure border, calling for a pathway to citizenship bill, and blaming both the Trump administration and the Republicans in Congress for failure to address immigration. Harris has long been pressed by reporters on the state of the border, since being put in charge of addressing the root causes of migration into the United States. In June 21, Harris was pressed by NBC's Lester Holt on going to the border. Harris told Holt that at some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border. That's Chucks and pearls. You haven't been to the border, Holt responded. Ooh-wee, and I haven't been to Europe, Harris said. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you've been making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border. So y'all saw that bullshiggity. They're constantly blaming Trump. Well, I can tell you that Trump's ICE was not, giving work visas and processing the illegals. Trump's ICE was kicking them out of the state of California, so much so that they were afraid to come over here. Let me share that with you. Stand by. Our unemployment numbers, hold on. Just a second, I want to go to the video if they have one. Hold on, family. While she's sitting up here blaming Trump and the Republican clans, let me find it. Hold on, family. Sorry about that. Let me silence the phone. Okay. Let me share this. Hold on. Just a second. While Kabami lies on Trump.
Border patrol trucks patrolling the Mexico-U.S. border. Their main objective, to control the flow of drugs and illegal migrants. Hiding from them are people like Griselda. She's been living undocumented in the United States for 19 years. She says that now she's more afraid than ever.
Last night, my children were crying before going to sleep. They were telling me that now Trump is going to deport me, and they don't want to lose me. We don't know what is going to happen to us. Trump has called us murderers, rapists, but we're only here to find a better life.
Griselda is still absorbing the shock of Tuesday's presidential result. Her children and husband are U.S. citizens, but she cannot reside here because she entered the country illegally.
I see the results all around the country, and I see that nobody really cares what happens to us. Even in Florida, the Latinos voted for Trump. People from Cuba voted for him. We share the same experience of coming to the country. They came by sea, risking it all. We have been stabbed in the back by our own people.
Donald Trump has promised to deport millions of undocumented migrants. He has also promised jail time to those who try entering this country more than once. Mexico and the United States share a common border that divides not only two countries, but entire families. It is very common to come here and see people trying to reach their relatives on the other side of the border. They're simply afraid of leaving the country because they fear of not being allowed back in.
Around 11 million people are undocumented in the United States. Immigration lawyers say they're not sure what is coming next.
That he will take that more humane approach and allow self-deportation. Because this other approach that was initially discussed is a very tough approach that is inhumane.
It's not just the increased risk of deportation that scares many here, but the new and powerful wall that Donald Trump said he's going to build. But Sergio Arellano says he's hoping Trump's promises will come true.
We need to secure our border. If it's not the wall, it's got to be, a fence, something to stop the bad element from coming into our nation and ruining the lives of our children.
Immigration has been a thorny issue in this election, but now that it's over, many here are worried that their biggest fears have already come true. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Nogales, Arizona.
So there you have it. Hold on one second.
Never scrub your toilet by hand ever again. This crazy toilet bomb deep cleans your toilet bowl in less than 30 minutes. Take any dirty toilet, pour in one.
Forgive the background noise. They're working around my property. Hold on one second, family. Let me close the door. It's still loud. I pray it stops shortly. The point of the matter is this. We need a moratorium on legal immigration, and we need to close the borders and kick out all of these illegal aliens. They are not asylum seekers. They are economic opportunists with the help of the Joe Crow administration and the American Freedmen vote. The ones who voted for Joe Crow and Kabami, this is what you voted for. Your own people's erasure and replacement. And I'm not anti-immigration, but I'm anti the weaponization of the government. I'm anti the government's weaponization of immigration against American freedmen to keep us bottom cast in the country our ancestors built with their lives. We should not be catering to immigrants with our reparations and protections until American freedmen are made American. Let me see what you got to say about it, family, and then I'm going to close this out because I got to get ready for the second live. Impeach Mayorkas. How about impeach Joe Crow? What for misusing ICE? ICE is not supposed to be processing these Mickey Fickies. They're supposed to be securing our borders. You know, like how we pay close to a damn near $1 trillion to Ukraine to protect their borders against Russia. That's what they're supposed to be in there for. And if that's not what you're doing with ICE, you should be impeached. How about impeach both of them? What was the point to let them in even temporarily, says BB? They'll all be given deportation orders, even with humanitarian pleas. This was waste. Yes, family, this is absolute waste of our reparations dollars, something the Democrats and the Republican clans love to do. Listen, I'm an independent, but I do understand that immigration is our most imminent threat. I do understand that they get in here and get position over American freedmen like the ones that are here already have. The Hispanics make more nationally than American freedmen. Asia's making more than white folks. So when you flood this country with immigration, it hurts American freedmen the most. Because white folks have killed and stolen all of our wealth for the last 500 years. Okay? So my thing is, we continue to vote for this when we keep putting the Democrats in charge of the country. So I am an independent. Both parties suck, but one party is about that life, getting this illegal immigration under control. Not everybody in the party, but Democrat to Republican clan, the Republican clans are always going to be about putting a grip on immigration, not to protect us necessarily, but to pretend to give a damn about their poor, and at the same time make sure no money goes to them. When Trump was in office, like I said, our unemployment numbers here in the state of California was 5%. It's over 11%, approaching 20% now in the state of California. You're the last hired, the first to be fired, and you make the least in terms of wages down here. Okay? When Trump was in office, he wasn't giving away our reparations and protections to all these immigrants, the way Joe Crow has done for the Asians and for the illegals and for all the immigrants by and large. Even the black immigrants are 300 times more wealthy, more liquid 8 years ago than American freedmen in the state of California. This ain't because we're lazy, no good, no count. This is because they would rather give it to a black immigrant than to give it to American freedmen. We're damn near ass educated, and that's who they're catering to. That wasn't happening under Trump. And I can't find the article right now, but if you check the archives, I featured them either in an article or video claiming that they were too scared to cross the border when Trump was in charge. But our people thought it a novel idea to replace Trump, an overt racist in office for 4 years with no record against American freedmen, with covert racists in office for 60 years combined, with records against American freedmen several New York City blocks long, and we continue to do this bullshitting. And I keep telling y'all, withholding the vote don't work. When you've got a good 90 million, let me see how many immigrants are in the country collectively. Hold on, family. How many immigrants in the country? Okay, in 2019, there was 44.9 million immigrants, foreign-born individuals, comprised 14% of the national population. The U.S. was home to 22 million women, 20.4 million men, and 2.5 million children who were immigrants. So take that 44.9, let's say 45, just round it up. And then you add to that the 14 million, that's 59 million that's waiting for citizenship. Those are DACA recipients. Ain't no damn 11 million. They've grown since, Obama earmarked them as dreamers and shit. Okay, so they've grown. So you got about 14 million DACA recipients who are waiting for citizenship with the American freedmen vote, no less. You add that to 45 million, that's 59 million. And I know that they're underreporting the numbers that have already crossed into this country. Let's double that number to at least 4. That's approaching 65 million. And now they're in a tug of war over Title 42 while they sit up here and say, oh, COVID is on the rise. All this bullshitty they're talking about. This thing is on the rise, and this thing is happening, that thing is happening. And, oh, you need to be vaccinated before you can even get an interview with this company. But, oh, the pandemic is over. Go on to the polls for the midterms. Oh, but let these illegals in and not require that they take the jab. Let's see what y'all got to say about it. Oh, I am just hotter than fish grease. Hi, the lawsuit of concerned citizens will move forward. I don't even know what lawsuit that is, family. Could you please Gmail me information? I didn't even know that was going on. Love My Folks says, Dr. Claude Anderson said the ongoing influx of foreigners will lead to us literally having brawls in the streets with these hateful people. If y'all not ready to physically fight, you better act now. Love My Folks, you better teach over in my piece. Teach, co-host. It's absolutely the truth. I just shared with y'all, when was it? Yesterday or the day before, I done lost track of time. How the brother was sitting up in the New York City Council meeting with these hateful ass Asians who are now exposing that he has a record as a sex offender, all because he up in there fighting for the right to be black in his own damn community that they're overtaking in New York. They're hateful. They're not renting to the people, especially if you have a record. They're not renting to blacks, and they're in position to take the neighborhood over, akin to what they've done to the Bay Area. So he's absolutely right. You're going to be fighting them. They're going to be lacing the drugs with fentanyl the way they already do it. Y'all saw that actor from The Wire when they caught them 3 illegals selling him drugs. It was caught on some type of street camera. Those drugs was laced with fentanyl. He dead now. Oh, it's coming for you. Hi, Miss Powell. Thank you for joining the live. Sis, Biden won't have them take that venom because part of the agenda is for them to be fertile. Absolutely, family. Yaira, you're absolutely right. Give us abortion. That's how which most of y'all went out here and voted Democrat the midterms. You want to give us abortion and give them jobs, driver license, and the right to freaking vote while they pump out babies like popcorn. To do what? Erase and replace us. You neutralize us economically, give us abortion, which our people went out the midterm to vote these Mickey Fickies into office. When I told y'all, I don't give a damn if Walker's dumb as a box of freaking rocks. Put his ass in office because he's willing to close the border. And I done fought with more of my folks than the law should freaking allow. And y'all put a pastor who is for abortion and LGBTQ and anti-reparations in office. Back in power for another 6 freaking years. Y'all don't make sense. If I was in the South, I'd be petitioning my city to charter buses to send them back to border or directly to ICE. Family, they too kumbaya and too afraid of a mean tweeting Trump to do anything. Look at what they just did, giving it to Warnock in the runoffs. They don't have the backbone for this. They won't believe the fat meat is greasy till it hit their doorstep. If your town has an immigration attorney office, you're on notice. You should have your city audit their business. Family, all of our resources that should be coming to us is being rewound and reversed and given to them. That's what you need to do. Find out all the federal monies that came to the state that you didn't see a dime of. That's the lawsuit. Let me see if I had any other notes. ICE is so ICE, instead of deporting, is processing these illegals, not sending them back. They're putting them on parole and giving them work permits, while black men in particular have the highest rates of unemployment throughout the country. They carry the seed. They carry the seed. They're not hooking up and marrying women because they can't afford to, by and large, with very little exception. Love My Folks says, ICE is no good when it's a bunch of immigrants running the office. You're absolutely correct. They're the ones that are keeping the borders open. But you just heard the man say ICE is being used. They're sitting up here funding ICE to process the illegals, not deport them. So you're absolutely right. That is by design. She goes on to say, you know, it's dire when liberal media is finally covering the story. Okay, that was NBC. That was NBC, the very first video I showed y'all with them at the border waiting to get in for when Title 42 is lifted. We got a tiny state, and we need to pray to Black Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, okay? We need to pray like we never prayed before, that they keep 42 in place or they use something in its stead. Or we are finished, y'all. Been sounding the alarm since 2019. BB says, appealing to humanitarian aid makes sense when you got it. However, you got Freedmen descendants without permanent housing and are languishing in permanent shelters while illegals are given housing and food stamps. I've got an elder right now who don't make enough to meet the needs on her Social Security benefits. She literally had to take in a stranger as a roommate just to survive. And you got illegals answering the phone over at the food stamp office. Okay? They're answering the phones and denying her She literally got to go through free legal aid to fight to get monies for food because they're just giving it away to their kind while our kind suffer. And this is what we, as American freedmen, keep voting for. So now they're saying that more than 9,000 illegals are crossing the border per day. Per day. And the only kind of immigrants they let into this country are the ones who will pretend to like us until they make a buck over us, and then they'll give you their ass to kiss. Like the city council members down here in the state of California. All of this with the help of the Democrats. I don't want none of y'all getting amnesia when the Republican clans get back in control. I don't want y'all having amnesia as if this wasn't happening under Joe Crow. Because that's what y'all tend to do. Not the people that roll with me. The ones that listen and don't type shit. Okay? They're listening from other places. Ear hustling to see what I got to say about it. Because they secretly know that I'm correct, but they secretly believe that the blue no matter who is the only way. Asylum for what? Their failed decisions? Not my problem. They don't need asylum. They need to go over there and build on their own countries instead of riding on the backs of what we continue to have to build. We continue to be the boots. We continue to be the shoes in this goddamn country. Everybody wants to get to this country because of what our ancestors and what we continue to do to hold this country down. While we become bottom caste. We're placed in the position to trade places with these fools as they come over here and get all the monies to start their businesses, the same monies that we're denied, the same monies that Barack Obama gave us 1% of the SBA small business loans. With our vote. They are here for economic opportunity and to erase and replace American freedmen. Period. Full stop. Ain't nothing about no asylum. That's the way they pretty it up to make you comfortable in the gas chamber, to make you comfortable on the front line of the guillotine. Over 500,000 in 2 months with the Joe Crow administration have entered the country. So 500,000 in 2 months. And you sitting up here telling me since Joe Crow took office January 2020, we in 22 about to go into 23, that only 2 million have entered the country? Get the fuck out of here. You're lying, and the truth ain't in you. If they got 500,000 crossing every 2 months, let me tell you what the number is. Hold on. 500,000 every 2 months, 2 into 12 is 6. That's 3 million a year. Hold on. Let's get the calculator. Yeah, that's 3 million times damn near 3 years. You're talking 9 million illegals are over here. Not no freaking 2 million. They've been on that number since 2020. Okay? You're looking at about 9 million of these Mickey Fickies in here now. 14 million on deck to get citizenship, and the Joe Crow administration trying in the lame duck session to make them citizens to replace your vote. Get the fuck out of here with that 2 million number. You a liar. Supposedly New York City area accepted 31,000 for what? This is ridiculous. Miss Powell says, Key, if they passed through other countries and did not request asylum in those countries, then they cannot request it here. Thank you, Ms. Powell. Yes, Bootney, me too, family. I'm sick of our administration. They're the ones that's allowing it. This is not new. It has always been the law. This is key to their deportation. Crazy thing is, I know hello Californians that refused to vote, closed borders. They really had a thing against Trump. Ain't that about a blip? They either withheld the vote or they voted blue no matter damn who to our peril. It's happening in real time. Miss Powell, you're so right. They never seek asylum in the other places. They come straight here. That's because American freedmen ancestors built this country and denied us opportunity and continue to deny us opportunity while making them more American with our freaking votes. Hi, Lisa. Okay, Shadow. I see you, family. That witch Harris needs to be deported her damn self. Family, chucks and pearls, ski-wee. That's what our people did all the way to the fucking polls. Put this first Jen in office as the VP. Even though she was fourth in her own presidential race out here in the state of California for wrongfully convicting nonviolent offenders, putting them in jail, throwing away the key, and telling them, you can't get out of jail, when the governor was saying the jails are overcrowded, let the nonviolent offenders go. And she said, I need them to put out the fires. So you need them to do slave work in the white hills where the white homes are to put out those fires. And when they're paroled, they can't get a job with the fire department. But they can be your slave. And Freedmen went out and voted this bullshiggity into office. The only way she got in was to be backdoored, just like Joe Crow when Coon Clyburn interfered in the South Carolina elections. And then Barack Obama told the rest of the moderates to fall on their swords and make way for Strom Thurmond's boy, Joe Crow. And 86% of our electorate, after this Mickey Ficky was the author of the 94 crime bill that Bill Clinton with 3 clays effectuated, giving our brothers the 3 strikes and all this. Y'all thought it was a novel idea to replace Trump with this bullshiggity. I'm just sick of it. They already require you to know Spanish in order to work. So I don't know why we comfortable with this. Amen, Anonymous. You know it. That's happening out here, and it's going to be spreading all over the country. Thank you, love my folks. Yes, please like, share, subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Share, share, share. This must go viral, family. We cannot make this mistake in 24 or we are finished. There is no law on illegal immigrants, only deportation orders. Crafty immigration attorneys argue on political refugees, asylees statuses, knowing they don't have a claim on it. Stands right now, only 3. As it stands right now, only 3. I don't know what that part means, but family, I feel what you're saying. There's no law on illegal immigrants, only deportation orders. And like I said, they're not deporting them. They're processing them. All the illegals that illegally come to America within the last 10 years need to be sent the TF back to their homelands. Absolutely, Bootney. Absolutely. That's why I'm saying we must vote for closed border and vetted, closed border and American first candidates only. Party be damned. I see you, The Rock. What's up, family? I missed you last night on the live. I know I was short notice. Had to get it in, though. There ain't nobody talking about this, but Trump shouted out the Hispanic community for their increases in numbers. We need to get a word in before these other groups make a case against us. Well, honey, there isn't. Listen. I think when it comes to Trump, and this is the problem with us, when you see the Hispanic vote increase, what are you as a party going to do? You're going to cater to them. That could have happened for American freedmen. We could have had more to negotiate with had we invoked my freedmen protest voter strategy instead of withholding the vote. I've already done the archive, the live, on how we didn't have a big voter turnout this midterms, but that's the case with us all the damn time, acting as if we don't have to compete with immigrants now. It ain't just white folks, it's immigrants too. And Dr. Claude Anderson been telling y'all for 40 years, you can't fight everybody. We don't have the numbers. We don't have the strength. We don't have the mental capacity to fight every damn body. And now the country is being flooded with Crayola wanted white supremacists with our own vote. It sickens me. Countries qualify as current political refugees, asylees, Haiti, Afghanistan, Ukraine, everyone else are economic migrants. Even the refugees, family. They're over here for opportunity. Bootney, immigrants are holding political offices. They are becoming police officers, public officials, etc. This shit is disgusting. Yes, with our vote, Bootney. Find a better life in your homeland, shorty. Not only that, go do what we did for free, and we still ain't got reparations. I still got to bring y'all my episode on how Joe Crow sat up here and named off our never-ending Holocaust while gifting Africa $55 billion. If they'll accept it, because he's in competition with Russia and China, who's got a stronghold economically on the country. $55 billion ain't nothing compared to what China and Russia have been doing to get a stronghold on the continent and to render the U.S. a non-factor. I mean, what's $1 billion per country? Don't they have about that many countries over there? Give me a damn break. While we sitting up here being told no to reparations, thanks to Barack Obama, who led the charge. And now I want to sit up here and soft shoe like, well, I just couldn't get it done. What would the Hispanics or the Asians think if I gave it to you? What the fuck are you talking about? Them being in this country and being made more American than us is their reparations. You got to go back through the archive, family. I got to jump and start this other line. Work and fight for a better life in your country. Freeloaders. Like I said, family, it's not their fault that our government at every branch is making sanctuary cities and states where we reside to erase and replace us. That's policy, family. It's not the individuals. It's not them. Let's think about this, family. If the situation were reversed and it was us trying to get into their country and their governments were allowing this bullshiggity and opening the borders while lying to us saying they were closed, would you not leave your shithole of a country to go over and to have more economic opportunity where they're going to give you a place to stay that's far superior to the homeless encampments that they're right now, steamrolling over where our people reside, where they're giving you food stamps, where they're giving you jobs that pay American, not American wages necessarily, but if you live in 4 to a house, you could do quite well if everybody's making $20, $30 an hour. Because that's what they push it for over in New York. They want $30 an hour to Uber food. Okay? So I'd be doing the same thing. I don't fault the individuals. I fault our government at every branch. I fault American freedmen for continuing to vote for their own erasure and replacement. I don't fault the individuals because if the situation were reversed, I'd be doing the same damn thing. If they were descendants of slaves and their ancestors built and made their countries the wealthiest in the free world, and I came from a shithole country where there was all kind of violence going on, I'd be trying to cross over into the land of milk and honey too. But they can only do what our government at every branch is allowing. Family, we are at war. We must rally our troops at the grassroots level. We must arm them with the knowledge of Freedmen history and Freedmen politics. We must go into our communities and advocate ASAP. Oh, honey, we are long out of time. And the Democrats are the ones declaring war. The ones that our people have been loyal to for about 60 years or more. We got to do all of it. We got to do all of it. You're absolutely correct, Miss Powell. They try to get us to feel sorry for these people when these same people are hostile towards us. Bootney, absolutely. Absolutely. No lies detected. Don't fall for mass amnesty angles easy. That's next. Oh, that's what they're trying to do, family. Absolutely. It is war. Better to battle while they're still on the other side of the wall, figuratively and literally. Easier to fight with the ballot. Love my folks, you ain't ever lied, family. That's what I'm trying to get them to do. Hi, Vaughn. Welcome to the live. Get the Mexicans out. That don't happen, Vaughn, until we weaponize the vote. If we continue to vote blue, we will continue to be erased and replaced. The Rock, BB, what? Since I missed, I came late. What's going on? Oh, The Rock, go ahead, and this is about to end, so you'll be able to rewind, family. I'm talking about the border crises. Send them back, all back, please. I'm tired of him. It's too many of them. Absolutely, 9,000 a day and counting. 9,000 a day is more than a small town per fucking day. Yes, family. Yes, and they're coming and dropping them off into our communities. I'm furious, as you should be. As California goes, it's coming for the rest of the country with the Freedmen vote. It's crazy. 9,000 a day. That's right, Bootney. I don't see black people no more. Just Mexicans. They got all the jobs, hiring only their own people. Absolutely. Vaughn, are you out here in California? Okay, because that's what's happening when you go into any stores. You see only immigrants. You don't see black folks working. Not even our youth. Trump had them shook. He revved up the pails, and the foreigners were terrified. Yes, yes. I'm anti-immigration too, Bootney. I'm not anti-immigrant. I'm anti the weaponization of immigration against American freedom to keep us tethered to the bottom as the bottom caste. Okay, I'm not against immigrants. I'm not against the individual, but I am against a government that allows our erasure and replacement with our own damn vote. I'm not afraid to say it. It's not helping us at all. You're right, Bootney. I feel you, family. But like I said, if the situation were reversed, I'd be doing it too. At Rock, Title 42 on hold and impact the flood of illegal economic migrants. Even Governor Newsom was talking about how bad immigration is if they are going to lift this Title 42 with no plan for what's at that border. He said, even as a sanctuary state down here, he said that he cannot handle the influx of immigrants if Title 42 is lifted. And I'm sitting up here wondering, why are you debating whether or not Title 42 should be lifted? Why is this even up for freaking debate? When you sit up here and talk about COVID and all other maladies on the rise during the winter season and demanding that we be jabbed before we can even get an interview, and not demanding that these, 10 million that are now in the country, because they lied to y'all about this 2 million. They've been on 2 million since 2020. It's a lie. If you were talking about 500,000 every 2 months, I just did the math. It's 9 million or more. And you're not requiring them to take the jab, but you're requiring it of us to get a job. Yeah, I don't know how Title 42 could go away if y'all talk about it's on the rise while ending the pandemic for the vote. See how convenient that is? Impeach that Crow Joe and Cammy Mammy. I'm with you on that, Yaira. I'm anti-immigration and send them all back, including the Africans and Caribbeans. Okay. I'm with you, family. You know, to that point, The Rock, they are giving asylum to the Haitians, whose president they are allegedly complicit into getting rid of. And you saw how they horsewhipped them back up off that border. When you look at that video I showed you, you don't see Haitians trying to get over in this country no more. They've been suffering since Hillary Clinton, Crooked Hillary, since her foundation stole all those resources that were supposed to go to Haiti to help them rebuild after that hurricane came through there. It's a nightmare right now, family. It's beyond immigration. This is colonization. These foreigners leverage homeland relationships to create economic borders around themselves using our infrastructure. Come through, love my folks. No lies detected. I keep getting invited to Trump rallies via email. I never signed up. By hey. I don't know what that by hey means. Well, I ain't going to no Trump rally, but you best believe that ballot's going to bleed come 24 and every election hereafter until these Democrats are begging me to cut my reparations checks. I'm done with them. We need to recognize Biden's $55 billion to Africa bought him $55 billion support from the Africans here in the U.S. They will vote against us to support him. He has secured the Hispanic and African vote. Girl, I never thought of it that way, Miss Powell. You just always dropping knowledge, spitting fire. Absolutely. But they've been voting for him. They're the ones that's voting Democrat practically every election cycle. Because the Democrats have shown that their allegiance is to immigrants, not American freedmen. They are using the immigrants to erase and replace us. But you're right, with that $55 billion, that's a dog whistle to get more of their support. But look at the high offices they're holding. Isn't there a Nigerian in charge of the Treasury under Joe Crow administration? He's not put more of them to work than he has us in his administration. Love my folks, for all the Black Republican clans, you have a prime opportunity to be a liaison to your people and to help us get a word in. People now have a listening ear to hear your message. Well, unless they getting on the page with us with reparations, that ain't really no conversation with them. I'm talking about a protest vote. This ain't really about what the Republican clans are doing or not doing for American freedmen. We don't have that luxury after voting over 60 years for the Democrats. This is about the weaponization of our vote and the socialization of our suffering, akin to what was going on under Trump. My misery loves company. And all I know is when the Democrats have a trifecta, we're the only ones in distress. I see you, Heesh, WWP. They delete us with the venom. Correct. Abortions are racist for Black people. Yes, Lizzo. Forget praying for the wayward world. We need specific and intentional prayers for us alone. We've been blessing everyone, and others are feeding off of our prayers. You better know that. That part, Angela, 100. I see you, BB. Plus the illegal aliens have anchor babies. These anchor babies can do chain migration for 20 more people. Love my folks. You are just hitting it on all cylinders. Exactly as Miss Powell says, Yaira. This cyclone into higher taxes and public welfare state. Yes, 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 yes. Our tax dollars, for those of us who are fortunate to, to be working and have incomes where taxes can be taxed, okay, are going to be used to take care of this. Skiwi in silence. Where's she at? Somewhere staying out the way of all the missiles that would be thrown at her head as she rears it. Yes, time out for lending prayers for all these other Hi Just Me people. We need to call for a national old school shut-in. Have a real agenda. POS showcasing Chuck Taylors and pearls. Facts. My 50-year-old brother was running circles around them paid so-called firefighters. He ran them, and they changed the laws to hire them. But my brother is not hired. The lies. Just me, they will lie like rugs for the Freedmen vote. You got to stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. They are seeking to extinct us. These are ethno-genocidal plans in full effect right now before your eyes, not even behind your back. Sure, they want to get you stuck on stupid with pronouns, okay? They want to get you stuck on stupid with that kind of nonsense. They want to get you stuck on stupid to abort your own children. They want to get you fighting to abort your babies over fighting for economic inclusion. over becoming more American, over freedmen schools with freedmen teachers, over housing in environmentally safe communities. A prayer chain. Pastors need to go in that Old Testament Nehemiah where it's all about building walls. We need a gospel of closed borders. Come on now, family. You better love my folks. You are doing the thing in the chat today. Illegals bringing that work right over the border. That real dope boy. TUH, black man ain't running nothing. Julio got all the lines. You better know it with the help of our government, family. And if we do show that we've got any advances, they're coming for you to lock you up. Julio get to run free. Love my folks. That's the old church who moved mountains. These new churches are paid organizations ran by daddy government. Lord told me to leave those buildings. Not that word, though. I know that's right, just me. I know that's right. We all should pull our vote. Stop voting for our demise. Let the system self-destruct. Amen, family. I'm with you on that. Like, share, subscribe, ASAP, fam. When are we going to dismantle these fake so-called black organizations? Why is that black woman in Congress, Maxine, respected? Because she's an elder. She doesn't work for us. That's right, family. None of the blacks that look like us down here are working for us. That includes Karen Bass, who is now mayor. Be safe in my car. You understand me? Okay. You gonna put your dress in the car? Yeah. What about your dress? All right. Sorry, guys. Got to manage, Freedmen life. Management daughter, she's going off the track practice. She love y'all black and Freedmen strong. At just me with, okay. When are we going to dismantle these fake ass so-called black organizations? Why is that black woman? Okay. None of these people down here work. I would venture to say nobody in the Congressional Black Caucus speaks harder against, listen, I don't know none of them that speak against immigration. I see them being paid to be complicit in our erasure and replacement with our own damn vote. That's what I'm bearing witness to. Ms. Powell, at just me, withholding our vote is passing the win to them. They will vote for their interests while demise hold ours to our demise. Listen, when you withhold the vote, you give these illegals who seek to replace you, and you leave the fate of our lineage in the hands of immigrants who seek to replace you and create all the white supremacists who seek to erase you. We have got to stop it. This is not the days of old where it's just black and white. They've got too many numbers, and it's split down the middle. And the more of our reparations and protections Joe Crow gives to them, the more votes he raises on the Democratic side. Y'all got to stop this. We are out of time. No withholding the vote. Go out here and vote closed border and vote closed border, American first, candidates only, party be damned, to neutralize our most imminent threat and replacement, immigration. So you fought Freedmen, okay. Many Freedmen are just learning who TF they are because of miseducation and maltreatment from our government. ADOS invented country, rock, hip, hop, gospel, and more. I love your name. So you fought Freedmen, okay. I don't know what that means, but you're right. Many Freedmen are just learning who we are because of miseducation and maltreatment from our government at every branch, family. Bobby Jefferson, welcome to the live. Welcome, ADOS invented country, rock, hip hop. Bobby Jefferson, when you include everyone, you exclude yourself. Come on through, Bobby Jefferson. Speak truth to power. Fault, not fault. Oh, okay. I don't fault. I don't fault Freedmen, family. I am a Freedman. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't fault Freedmen. I'm trying to educate. I'm trying to edutain. But I do fault us if we're not seeking political education. When clearly, if I can feel something's wrong and determine I got to go get some education, surely every freedman in the country can feel that something is wrong when they look to the left and right in their communities and they don't even see themselves no more. I saw political education as in most of the people in this thread. So I fault us if we're continuing to withhold the vote or we continue to vote blue no matter who, and we don't seek out this level of education. I see different channels out here talking about nonsense with more likes and views than my channel that's been censored. So I fault us for being so stuck on reality TV that ain't nobody's reality. Not even the people playing reality TV. They don't even have the reality that they're putting forth to you. I fault us for being more invested in that than we are in this fight for reparations. You mean to tell me this reparations is a national topic and we don't have more than a handful of people showing up to all the hearings to give testimony and to fight for it? It's just a handful of us fighting every time a hearing is cropping up all over the country. I'm supposed to be over there in Minnesota where they executed George Floyd. I got to jump off this live and go do that live. We can't make this channel go viral. But y'all can give grifters who are pimping the reparations movement all your cheddar while the orgs have to go into their own pockets to fund for flyers and to get this thing pushed out. We got to pay for live streams like this one so we can broadcast everywhere in order to get the reparations movement to critical mass. But y'all gonna follow folks who will show up in D.C. and put Democrats on the damn stage to get them votes, and not the GOP candidates who got a full-fledged Freedmen agenda. He got nothing but open borders on his agenda, and he gets to speak at a reparations rally. Let me get off of that because that's a whole nother broadcast. I'm not trying to go there. I guess I just went there. But anywho, I'm moving on. I'm sick of the bull. That's what I fought. I was about to drive again soon. This is deplorable. Yes, indeed. Just me. Withholding our vote is handing a win to them. They are smart enough to know how to empower themselves by using their vote while we withhold ours to our own demise. No lies detected, Ms. Powell. We must shift our vote, not withhold it. We must weaponize our vote, not withhold it. To citizenship first. She's right. No lies detected. I'm so angry our future is at stake, political and financial. We can't afford to remain in this powerless state. Family BB, it is very concerning, especially when I see how many folks followed that no tangibles, no vote by sitting the last midterm out. It's a damn shame. You don't simply throw your vote away. Strategy is what I'm saying. Asians don't even vote. That's a lie, just me. 90% of the Asian vote went to Joe Crow the last election cycle. Even the Asians' numbers for the Democrats increased in 2020. Now, I don't know what the numbers are yet for the midterms, but in 2020, the Asians turned out a 90% vote in favor of the Democrats. And the Asians are taking over in political office, so they are now participating. You guys just stick on a fact from 1900 and won't do your research to see what the hell is going on in the numbers. You do your people a disservice when you spew misinformation about what's happening with this vote. This is why folks are sitting up comfortably being politically lazy and believing that they can withhold the vote to make an impact. The ship has sailed on that. The Democrats wants to withhold our vote. They just laugh when our people say no reparations, no vote. Yes, they look at us like the idiots we are. Because even the Hispanics who just got here 20 years ago know how to at least split their vote down the middle to make the Democrats work even harder for it. We just move as a block, continuing to either withhold the vote or voting blue no matter who, to our own people's peril. What's up, Big Kid Production? Yes, it's all a hot mess. Just me. This is a fallen system anyways. It's best to follow TMH than to believe your enemy gonna give you any damn thing. TMH don't need votes, LOL. Every knee finna bow. That's on Mary, had a little lamb. I don't know who TMH is. You have to unpack that. And you're absolutely right. It is a failed system, but the reason why it's failing is because we ain't done different since our ancestors who knew when to pivot from the Republican clans to the Democrats for civil rights. We just keep showing up voting for our own peril. We got a small window to turn that around by weaponizing the vote and neutralizing our most imminent threat, immigration. Just me, you're wrong. Stop listening to misinformation. Asians do vote. Also, Asians are the wealthiest in this country. They use their money as their vote. Come on, Miss Powell. Educate, fam. Educate. Take your mail out the mailbox every day. There's an uptick of people stealing mail around everywhere. No joke. Thanks, ADOS Invented. Yes, that's a lifeline for you. They're absolutely right. I literally have to call my neighbor to actually pick up my mail from the lobby, when they do deliveries and stuff. Because you can't let it stay down there like that. You can't let it hang out downstairs in your lobbies by your mailboxes. You got to get them up out of there. We literally had to replace our mailboxes because there was a woman that was consistently coming in, and with our weak mailboxes down in our lobby, they didn't even care that they were on camera. They would just continue to come in and take all the mail out. It's a whole mess, family. Speaking of which, California, you got a gas rebate coming. If you ain't got it, you better reach out to the State Franchise Tax Board. Please, please, please reach out to the State Franchise Tax Board. I got $700 floating around here somewhere. Just spoke with them today. So reach out to them right away and get your gas rebate, okay? That's a lifeline. Oh, I see you, Prentice Johnson. Welcome, fam. I forwarded your message to Trey Hearn to get busy down there in Minnesota. Just me. Stop telling people not to vote. That doesn't work for us. Come through, family, because guess who is voting? Immigrants and white folks are voting. And so for folks to tell you your vote don't count, they a damn lie. That's a way to keep you politically lazy and disengaged to your own peril. And you need to weaponize your vote when you go to the polls. We must use ours as a weapon when we identify our J. I don't know what that J means, Miss Powell, but what I do know is that we are out of time and we must get to these polls in Obama-style number every election cycle. I would venture to say that our withholding the vote and voting blue no matter who is how we became bottom caste. This is why we are in the fight of our lives to prevent from becoming the permanent bottom caste. And the only way that happens is with reparations and fighting locally and getting out here into the communities and educating the people why withholding the vote and voting blue no matter who is to our peril. Vet candidates and vote closed borders. It's that simple, says Bootney. Absolutely, family. Thank you. Ms. Powell, we must use our vote against our greatest threat, which is currently legal and illegal immigrants. If we withhold our vote, we have ensured our demise. Come through, Ms. Powell, as always. Management is necessary. This is why I laugh at those Hebrews talking about these Mexicans are on that chart and going to inherit the kingdom. How? They don't fit none of the scriptures. They run from their issues. We don't. Oh, just me. I love you, family, but I can't really dig into that right now. Yes, parties be down. Let's fucking vote. Chestnut checkered. Karen Bass, the token Latina. I see you, Easy Axe. Thank you for weighing in. Yes, if she's not married to a Latino, she once was, and she's got Latino grandkids in the whole 9 yards. Listen, I'm not against Latinos. I'm not against immigrants. I am against the government's weaponization of immigration to erase and replace us and to render us the permanent bottom caste in the country our ancestors built with their lives. I've got friends. I've got people that I know. And I don't have no ill toward them because of who they are. This fight is the government for me. I don't hate no one. I don't have hate for anyone. The only people I hate are those who got hate for me. But I cannot stand the government who would rob from us, kill and steal and rape and lynch from us, our inheritance, enrich themselves after we fought and won our emancipation. And with our votes, they're executing their ethno-genocidal plans for our group specifically. That's what I hate. Not these powerless people. They're powerless. They're doing what we failed to do and continue to fail to do. When we don't weaponize this vote, when we continue to push no tangible, no vote, no reparations, no vote, when we continue to be politically lazy, or we can, in both ways is politically lazy, family. If you vote blue, no matter damn who, you're doing it to our people's peril. When you withhold the vote, you do it to our people's peril. When you believe your vote don't count, you're doing it to our people's peril. When you fail to get political education and be open at the top, we got to take fault with ourselves because this is what we've done collectively. Me too. I'm not just blaming y'all. I voted 2 terms for Barack Obama, and I foolishly did blew down the freaking ticket in 2020. Foolishly. I wish I'd never done that. But now that I know better, I'm doing better. In the midterms, I had tremendous joy voting red down the ticket out here in California. Tremendous joy. Peace, Easy. That's the DACA mama, including Waters. She don't even care about herself or her own. Well, Waters does care about herself. She's quite comfortable. She's living quite well here in the state of California. All of the Negro elected officials are doing quite lovely, selling us out. I love this from you always, BB. Thanks for the reminder that being casual causes you to become a casualty. She quotes Les Brown every time, and I love it. Fronting and drama prone. Meanwhile, replacement is in motion. Come through, family. Fact, says ADOS invented. Continue to read my comment because you didn't fully comprehend. Okay, I didn't mean to do that one. Let me move through. I'm not the only one who read your comment and disagreed. Maybe you should clarify what you meant. Just me. Did you just hear that response? Clarity. Your comment. Clarify your comment so that there's no confusion. Okay, I'm moving past that little fight. Stealing mail and porch pirates. I don't know what a porch pirate is, BB. Y'all, listen. I know I got some angisms for y'all's asses, but let me explain. I don't know what all y'all's isms. I don't know what this BB-ism is. Porch pirates. You have to unpack that. We can win locally via city councils. Illegal alien proof your city by not allowing them to participate in municipal services and making a proclamation to prosecute companies hiring them. Come through, love my folks. That's a great strategy. Listen, down here, family, y'all got to be careful because that Neri Martinez woman who sits on the LA City Council that was caught in an open mic on recording disparaging a baby boy, a black baby boy, and threatening him with an inch of his life. You have to understand the bigger story is that they illegally redistricted LA in order to keep blacks off that council. So you're absolutely right. Everybody needs to be running hair on fire for every political office out there. Now, you can go through the Freedmen Party to get free training, but we need everybody running, especially locally, or we're done. The Asians did come out, and we sitting up here niggardly talking about they don't show up. I see you, Ivy Dreams. All right, y'all. Angela, they're stealing off our stoops and porches. Oh, okay. All right, family. With that being said, I'm going to freeze on Love My Folks' last comment. It was rich. We can win locally via city councils. Illegal alien proof your cities by not allowing them to participate in municipal services and making a proclamation to prosecute companies hiring them. That, y'all, I'm overdue. I got to get over here into this Minnesota meeting. I've got to stream that for y'all next. Listen here. I'm going to try my best to stream it. It's not very clear. They got a million things on that agenda, but we're going to try to wait for our number to come up. If you don't come back in the next 5 minutes with me, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever Freedmen and his allies are, God truly is, because family, you are the face of God, the voice of God, the body temple of the Spirit of the living God. If no one's told you today, know that I love you, Black family. I love you, Freedmen Strong. Until we meet again in the next 5 minutes, I want you to make it a beautiful, God-inspired rest of your day if you don't come back and join me. And until then, family, I'm believing for each and every one of us a ton of peace, love, and reparations, family.